Have you ever wondered if the mind truly has power over matter? This question may seem like it's been borrowed from a science fiction novel, but the concept of mind over matter has been an intriguing subject of debate in various domains of life, from health and wellness to sports and personal development. Mind over matter. It's a phrase we've all heard, but what does it truly mean? At its core, it suggests that our minds have the power to influence our physical realities. It's the idea that our thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes can have a significant impact on our bodies and the world around us. The origins of this concept can be traced back to ancient philosophies and spiritual traditions around the globe. From the yogis of India to the Stoic philosophers of ancient Greece, the power of the mind has been a recurring theme throughout human history. It's a belief that has shaped countless cultures and civilizations, and continues to do so today in modern times. This concept has gained traction in popular culture. Take sports, for instance. Athletes often talk about the mental game being as crucial as the physical game. From visualizing the perfect swing in golf to mentally rehearsing a complex gymnastics routine, the power of the mind is often credited for exceptional performances. Similarly, in the realm of personal development, the mind's influence is a central theme. Self-help books and motivational speakers frequently emphasize the power of positive thinking and mindset in achieving personal and professional success. In the health sector too, there's a growing recognition of the mind's role in overall well-being. The field of psychoneuroimmunology, for instance, explores the connection between our mental state and our immune response. There's also the fascinating realm of placebo effects, where mere belief in a treatment's effectiveness can lead to real physical improvements. But the question remains, is there any scientific credibility to the idea of mind over matter? Is it based on verifiable facts, or is it just wishful thinking? In the next few minutes, we will delve into the science behind mind over matter and whether it holds water in the face of rigorous studies. Stay tuned. But what does science say about mind over matter? Well, let's delve into this fascinating topic. There are numerous scientific studies that lend credence to the concept of mind over matter. One of the most compelling examples of this is the placebo effect. This is a phenomenon where a person experiences a perceived improvement in their condition after receiving a treatment that is in fact inert or inactive. This effect is so potent, it's considered a confounding factor in clinical trials, proving that our belief in a treatment can sometimes be as effective as the treatment itself. But it doesn't stop there. The power of the mind can also be harnessed through meditation and mindfulness. These practices have been shown to have tangible effects on physical health. For instance, a study published in the Journal of Psychosomatic Medicine found that individuals who practiced mindfulness meditation for 8 weeks exhibited a significant decrease in the inflammatory response caused by stress. This suggests that our mental state can indeed influence our physical health. Another study published in the Journal of Behavioral Medicine found that mindfulness-based stress reduction techniques help patients with chronic pain reduce their reliance on medication. This not only underscores the power of the mind, but also hints at the potential of using mental techniques as an adjunct or even an alternative to traditional medical interventions. Our mental state can even impact our longevity. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology showed that individuals who maintain a positive outlook on life tended to live longer than their more pessimistic counterparts. Science is increasingly recognizing the role of our minds in our physical well-being. The mind and body are not separate entities, but rather two parts of an interconnected system that influence each other in profound ways. However, not all scientists are on board with this concept. While there is a growing body of evidence supporting mind over matter, it's important to note that this field of study is still evolving. There are many complexities and unknowns, and as with any scientific endeavor, skepticism and rigorous investigation are necessary to separate fact from fiction. While some scientists support the idea of mind over matter, others remain skeptical. Indeed, skepticism forms an integral part of the scientific community, as it helps keep the balance and encourages continuous exploration and questioning. There is a considerable number of studies and research that challenge the concept of mind over matter. Many of these studies propose that the mind's influence over the body is not as powerful as some might suggest. They argue that while the mind can affect our perception of pain or discomfort, it cannot significantly alter our physiological functions. For instance, a study published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology showed that positive thinking had no effect on the recovery rate of patients undergoing surgery. Another contention raised by skeptics is the lack of concrete evidence. They argue that many of the studies supporting mind over matter are anecdotal and lack rigorous scientific methodologies. They point out the need for larger sample sizes, control groups, and reproducibility of results. In other words, they demand more stringent scientific standards for the studies supporting the concept. Skeptics also express concern about the potential harm that could arise from over-reliance on the power of mind. They worry that people might neglect conventional medical treatments, believing they can overcome illnesses purely through willpower. However, it's important to note the limitations of these skeptical viewpoints. Many of these studies focus on extreme cases, and their findings might not apply to everyday scenarios. Moreover, the ongoing debate in the scientific community suggests that our understanding of the mind-body connection is still evolving. We are far from having a definitive answer. So, where does that leave us with the concept of mind over matter? Well, it leaves us in a place of balance and exploration. It reminds us to be open-minded yet critical, to seek evidence yet remain open to possibilities, and to acknowledge the power of the mind while still respecting the complexities of the body. The concept of mind over matter is not a black and white issue. It's a fascinating topic that has been the center of countless debates, with a balance of supporting and refuting views. This balance is key to our understanding of the mind's influence over the body. On one side, we have the proponents who argue that the mind possesses a significant influence over our physical being. They point to instances where positive thinking, visualization, and mental fortitude have proven to alter physical conditions. The placebo effect is a prime example of this, where a person's health improves simply because they believe they are receiving treatment. Then, there are those remarkable stories of individuals who, defying all odds, have overcome severe health issues or achieved incredible feats, all attributed to the power of their mind. The mental resilience of athletes, the recovery of patients from life-threatening diseases, and the everyday triumphs of people battling chronic conditions, these are all testament to the mind's influence. On the flip side, we have the skeptics. They argue that while the mind is indeed powerful, its influence is not absolute. There are physical realities that we simply cannot wish away, no matter how strong our mental resolve. They point to the fact that diseases like cancer or conditions such as paralysis cannot be cured by thought alone. Moreover, they argue that the mind's influence can also be detrimental. Negative thinking, stress, anxiety. These mental states can exacerbate physical conditions and can even lead to the onset of certain illnesses. In essence, it's a delicate balance. The mind and body are interconnected, and it's a dance of influence and response. The mind can shape our physical reality to an extent, but it's not a one-way street. Our physical condition can also impact our mental state. All these views underscore the complexity of the mind-body connection, reminding us that there are many factors at play. Thus, the power of the mind is undeniable, but it's not an all-powerful entity. So, does mind over matter really work? We've delved into the power of the mind, the scientific evidence, the skeptic's point of view, and the balance of views. We've traversed a landscape of thoughts and theories, evidence and skepticism. We saw the compelling evidence supporting the concept of mind over matter. We saw instances where individuals were able to influence their physical realities by harnessing the power of their thoughts. We discovered that science, while still grappling with the mysteries of the mind, has begun to acknowledge its potential in influencing physical matter. We also looked at the skeptic's perspective, those who question mind over matter as an unproven theory or dismiss it as wishful thinking. They remind us that correlation does not always imply causation, and that anecdotal evidence, however compelling, is not the same as scientific proof. We then explored the balance of views, recognizing that while the mind is powerful, it's not all-powerful. Mind over matter is not a panacea. It doesn't mean we can simply think our way out of every situation. It's not a substitute for professional medical advice or treatment. So where does this leave us? Well, it leaves us with an invitation to explore further, to question, to be open, and to form our own opinions. It leaves us with a sense of wonder and curiosity about the incredible power of the human mind. But it also leaves us with a word of caution, a reminder to not get swept away by the allure of the concept, to not abandon logic and critical thinking, to not disregard the advice of medical professionals or ignore the importance of physical action in the pursuit of health and well-being. Remember, the power of the mind is a fascinating field of study, but it's always important to keep a balanced perspective. The mind is a powerful tool, but like any tool, it's most effective when used wisely and appropriately. And ultimately, the exploration of mind over matter is not about seeking absolute answers, but about deepening our understanding of ourselves and the world around us.